That was Valentine's Day 2008, here with Glenn Broder. And Glenn, how do you know when you're in the zone to do your best work?
Wow, that's a really neat thing to think about. You know, the zone, you hear about that in sports, you hear about it in all different ways. And being in the zone business-wise is being prepared. And in step 5 in the system, and some people read step 5 and they laugh because I say things like, make sure you brush your teeth and you shower and you shave and you do all the things to, living the clean life. And I'll tell you, I learned a lot about being in the zone from something that I heard about Paul Harvey. Everybody knows who Paul Harvey is. He's the syndicated radio. He does motivational, he does business structure, he does lots of different things. And Paul Harvey retired to his home, I think somewhere in Minnesota. And he built himself a studio, and in retiring, he wasn't really going to retire, he was just going to work from his home. So he started to go to his studio in the morning with his slippers on and his pajamas on, and he was able to because he could walk through a door and he was at work. And what he started to recognize was that his ratings were dropping. And he was, Paul Harvey, his ratings never drop. They get better and better. They pick up more and more affiliates. So what he realized was that he was not in the zone. What he needed to do was wake up every morning, shower, shave, just as if he was going to get off and go to the office. And he put on his tie. He did it in a suit. He, from that point on, went back to the way of getting into the zone. And when he got into the zone, his ratings went right back up. Now, the interesting thing about the zone is I was always taught that you need to dress the way that you want to feel, not vice versa. So in other words, if it takes being in a suit, you'll notice even when I give seminars, I generally wear a suit, but I rarely wear a tie. The tie to me is not something that I need. But for a lot of people, especially starting reps, if you showed up without a tie on, that would have a tremendous effect on the way the person might view you. So you need to get into the zone starting first by being prepared. Know everything. Educate yourself so that there's nothing that you don't know about your product and service. Now, one thing I want to point out is if you happen to work from your home, and I know a lot of reps do that. They're able to work from their home. My suggestion, and I do this every morning, well, you'll get to know Luke and I well because we're going to do this in the mornings. I get to work from home quite a bit. Well, I travel a lot as well, but when I'm in Los Angeles, I get to work from home. I always leave the house in the morning and then come back. And that's almost a symbolic break of being in my home and being in my business. Right. So I'll run out and get a cup of coffee, or I'll run to the bakery or whatever it may be, but I'll do something that'll be an activity as if I was driving to work. So getting into the zone is a physical thing. The way you dress is the way you feel. And then from an educational standpoint, if you know everything and you're completely polished on your product and your service, you're in the zone all the time. That's what visual motor rehearsal is all about. Getting yourself into that zone predictably where you produce at your highest levels.
I bet being around certain people gets you into the zone, and being around other people, tends to knock you out of the zone.
Oh, without question. You know what I've also stopped doing? I don't watch the news in the morning any longer because of how negative some of that can be and how it can put you into a bad zone. But people, for sure, You know what? If there's a lot of people that describe it this way, if there's a cancer in a business, you need to cut it out just like any illness. And there's a lot of companies that have that doubter and have that person who doesn't have the vision and doesn't think very big. You know, those people do get in your way. What about even more than that? A lot of people, when they go into sales, their family says, "You're crazy. Why would you want to take that kind of a risk? Go get an hourly job." Can you imagine if your parents say that to you, how debilitating that can be? So you almost have to build this thick skin and realize who you want to let in and who you don't want to let in. The people you don't want to let in, run as far away from them as you can, because you can distance yourself from people. But then the stars, especially, if you're one of the mediocre reps who wants to be a star, there's a perfect way to get into the zone. Come to the office early, because the stars come to the office early, and just sit and listen. Let them help you get into the zone. It's a great way to do it. I call the most motivated person that I can think of that's going to have the biggest day. So when I'm working with a lot of people, you know when their deals are coming, you know when something big's going to happen. I play off of their juice. I call them first call in the morning going, "Man, you're going to have a great day," and then I get to hear their pump back. It's a great way to put yourself in the zone.